Today's headlines: domestic violence, 53 reports each day. Warning, drugs gangs mean business. Telecom employees arrested on fraud charges. London's murder count reaches 90. Hi, I'm Andrew from Always English. Today's lesson is a vocabulary lesson and the topic is crime. When we open the newspaper, often the headlines in the newspaper are related to crime around the world. Or when we switch on the television, often the headlines are related to crime. Also, if you're a Netflix fan, you're probably aware that a lot of the TV series that are available now are also related to crime. I've got 20 vocabulary that I want to share with you, and I've broken them down into 4 categories, and I'll explain the meaning of each word. But make sure you stick around until the end of the video because there's a short quiz for you to practice to see what you can remember. If you have a look in the comments section, all of the vocabulary that we talk about today, there are 2 PDFs in the description for you, and there are some extra words in there as well. Okay, the first category we're going to have a look at is violent crimes. With violent crimes, these often include a physical attack, and a person is often forced to do something against their will. The first word we're going to look at is abduction. And an abduction is when a person is forced, often violently, to go somewhere against their will. The next word is rape, and rape is when a person is forced to have sex against their will. And then we've got assault, and assault is when a person is violently attacked by someone else or by a group. And the next 2 words are murder and manslaughter. And there's a big difference, but an overlap between these 2 words. With both words, it means a person is killed. But with murder, murder means the person intentionally planned to kill someone. With manslaughter, it wasn't intentional and it was an accident, so there might have been a violent attack which led to a person accidentally killing someone else. The next 6 vocabulary can be categorized as property crimes. The first word is arson, and arson is when a person intentionally sets fire to a property or a building in order to destroy it. Then we've got vandalism, and vandalism is when a person intentionally damages another person's property. And the next 4 words are all related to theft. Theft is when a person takes something belonging to another person and keeps it. We've also got burglary, and burglary is when a person breaks into a property and they steal something without the other person's permission. So a person might smash a window in a house or pick the lock in a door, go into someone's house and take some of their personal items. The next word we've got is shoplifting. And shoplifting is when you go into a store. So say, for example, if someone goes into a store and they steal a t-shirt or an apple, they take it and they don't pay for it. That's shoplifting. And the last word is pickpocketing. Pickpocketing is when a person secretly puts their hand into another person's pocket or another person's bag, and they might take their smartphone or their wallet as an example without the other person knowing about it. The next category includes 4 white-collar crimes, and the first vocabulary is fraud. Fraud is when a person gains money by deceiving people. For example, a person might move into a new address and they open a letter from the previous tenant. They get that person's name and personal details and they apply for a credit card in someone else's name. And the next word is bribery. Bribery is when a person offers money to someone else to make them or ask them to do something illegal. For example, a person might be in trouble with the police and they might offer the inspector or the police an amount of money to drop the charges. Next we have embezzlement, and embezzlement is when you take money that is in your care that belongs to an organisation. So the person would be spending the money for personal reasons but not documenting it. And we also have hacking, and hacking is when a person gains access to another person's personal information on their computer without them knowing about it or without their permission. The fourth category is organised crime, and the first word is drug dealing. This is when a person is selling illegal drugs. And the next word is smuggling. Smuggling also could include drug dealing. It's when an item or something that's illegal, or even a person, is taken from one place to another, and that's often done illegally. Then we have human trafficking. Human trafficking is when a person is kidnapped by a group and they're often sold to another group and they're forced to do work, and the work often includes sex work. We also have robbery, and robbery is often categorized as armed robbery, which means the person has a weapon such as a gun. Armed robbery would include a bank robbery, so a person or a group of people go into a bank holding a gun and they ask for money from the staff in the bank. And the last word we have is forgery. Forgery is when some form of document is copied, so it's not the official original document. And a good example of this is forgery banknotes. So say, for example, the British pound, £20 notes or £50 notes. Some company makes some forgeries, so they're not a legal document and they're trying to spend this money, and it's often called a counterfeit document. Okay, so there's quite a lot of words there for you to remember. You might already know some of them, but now it's time to do a quiz to see how much you know or how much you remember. Okay, number one, what I want you to do is have a look at this sentence and tell me what the answer is. It's multiple choice and you've got 3 options to choose from. Adam takes a man's wallet from his bag without him knowing. Is he a burglar, a pickpocket, or a shoplifter? Number 2, what do we call a person who sells illegal drugs? Is it a drug dealer, a drug user, or a drug taker? Write your answers down and send them to me in the comments and I'll check them for you. Number 3, if someone breaks into your house and steals something, he is a fraudster, a smuggler, or is he a burglar? What do you think? Okay, number 4. Jane accidentally killed her attacker. Is this crime manslaughter, murder, or assault? And number 5, Carol used a customer's credit card to purchase items for herself. Is this fraud, hijacking, or bribery? And I've got one more exercise that I want you to do. Choose one of the vocabulary from today's lesson and I want you to give me an example sentence of that crime. So for example, if you choose murder, you could say, Stephen shot Janet and he intended to do that. Write your sentence in the comments and I'll check it for you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.